I'll be honest with you, I do absolutely none of this when I wake up in the morning. All right, so you're probably watching this because you're gonna think there's some groundbreaking morning routine or some revolutionary thing I do at the start of my day that enabled me to unlock a six-figure a month income. But the reality is there is no such thing. There is no magic morning routine, and really I wouldn't advise you to follow anyone's morning routine unless you tested and figure out it actually works for you. However, having said that, I want to run you through my morning routine after a lot of trial and error and after a lot of testing. I figured out that this works incredibly well for me, and there's some core key principles within it that I want to share with you. Yeah, you might find helpful. Okay, so I normally wake up between 6 and 7 a.m. most days. Now, I didn't just pick this time randomly. For me, waking up early in the morning, I don't know, there's something about it. It makes you just feel good. It makes you feel like you're getting a head start on everyone. And it gives me enough time to exercise first thing in the morning without feeling like I'm rushing. And I kind of have, 3 hours or so before kind of the team wake up, 9 a.m. rolls around, when typically I start work. I guess for me, waking up early it just makes me feel good. I gotta keep my voice down here because my sales rep is taking an early morning call, but yeah, some people like going to sleep super late at night, working into the night, and then waking up at 10 a.m. For me, couldn't personally do that. It's about finding a sweet spot that works for you and that enables you to do it time and time again. It's not necessarily the time of day you wake up, but it's more so having the time every single day that you wake up at the same time so you actually have a routine. And this is where I see a lot of people mess up, is they don't have a routine. They're not locked in on one time. It's sometimes I wake up at 7, sometimes I wake up at 10, and that's just counterproductive. But yeah, I guess once I've woken up, first thing I do is I make a coffee. We need a glass. And yeah, a lot of health gurus say you shouldn't drink coffee first thing in the morning. You should wait X amount of time, but for me, it works. It wakes me up, it makes me feel good. I make a coffee, and then I take a good 20 minutes to chill out. This is gonna take a while. I take 20 minutes or so to drink my coffee and kind of collect my thoughts for the day, and I'll come on to that in a sec. So, obviously, normally I'm at home when I do my morning routine, which is in Dubai, but I'm here in Marrakesh for the week. I've got the team out here, the Club Closer team. We try to get together at least once a year and kind of work together, but that doesn't really change anything. No matter where I am in the world, I always try and have the same structure. And this kind of comes back to the point of I don't necessarily think what you do in your routine is the determining thing a lot of the time, but it's the fact that you actually have a routine and you're doing the same thing every day. When you go on a run, you warm up. It's kind of like warming you up for the day. And it's okay, well, what can warm you up the best way possible to start the day? And for me, that's kind of everything we've gone on to so far and everything we're gonna cover. And the next thing I do whilst I'm sitting here getting caffeinated is I have this document that I've been reading, or different editions of this document that I've been reading now for the past 4 to 5 years. And it's basically, I just call it my master vision. And it's a document that just kind of goes over my identity, things I want to achieve, my kind of 5-year plan. If it loads, it would show you my 5-year plan in photos, next 6 months, my 6-month vision. Basically, for me, reading this kind of grounds me for the day. It sets me up for kind of knowing what I'm working towards, why I'm working towards it. And when you work on something, the daily actions don't actually amount to much in that 24 hours, but over a long enough time frame, a few weeks, a couple months, they compound. So reading that kind of sets me up. And if I'm feeling kind of a bit sleepy or a bit lethargic or a bit demotivated when I first thing in the morning, reading that gets me fired up, and it really changes my state to be all right, come on, let's go. Let's get after today. So yeah, I read that, I drink my coffee, I look at any kind of messages that might have come in overnight that I need to get back to pretty quickly, and then I go and exercise. So, all right, so caffeinated, awake. Next thing I do is I exercise. For me personally, I love to exercise first thing in the morning. There's kind of a couple reasons for this. I've tried exercising later on in the day, but for me, it's I like getting out of the way. I like getting up early and achieving something straight out the gate, where it's I've gone and done something. And then the second part is time-wise. If I know I've done my exercise first thing in the morning, I then have the rest of the day to myself, right? I can go and kind of work until whatever time later on in the day. I don't have to think I need to get up and go and do something. I've already done it, it's boxed off.
and I've kind of had this achievement already, and it kind of, if I do it first thing in the morning, it kind of kickstarts my day in the right way and kind of wakes me up as much as possible. So right now I'm going to take you on a run with me, and I'll sort of explain what kind of exercise I do and I guess why it's most effective for me.
All right, so I've done a lot of exercise throughout the years from playing sport at school. I actually used to be semi-professional at mountain biking, went to the gym a lot, but after like all those years of trying all these different sports, for me when I exercise, especially like in the mornings, I want to get my heart rate up. Ignore the dogs. I want to get my heart rate up. Reason for this, if I go to the gym and lift weights, like I don't feel like there's enough strain for me. Whereas running, cycling, some sort of HIIT workout, man, it makes me feel alive, which is what you want in the start of the morning. It makes you feel that you've actually done something hard. Like realistically, you all know that going to the gym and lifting weights, like it's not that hard. Sure, you're doing it for like vanity and having a six pack and big biceps, but ultimately getting out there, putting on your shoes and kind of getting your heart rate up makes you feel way better. And that's what I found out of trying every exercise under the sun. And honestly, you start to enjoy it way more than you think. All right, so back home from exercising now, showered, and we're just having breakfast with the boys. Kind of a typical breakfast for me. I'll normally have just fruit and eggs. Sometimes I'll have some carbs, depending on how much I'm training. For me, I've kind of found that if I eat too many carbs in the morning, I always sort of get a bit sleepy or get a bit lethargic, so I try and limit the amount of carbs I have first thing in the morning. Unless like I'm training, I might have like a bowl of oats or a banana pre-run, or if it's a big workout, and then after just fruit, eggs, and obviously this morning we've got bread because that seems to be all they're cooking us here in Morocco is bread and eggs. So we make do. But yeah, gonna eat this, and then I'll show you sort of how I run through the rest of my day in terms of planning and mapping everything out. This is probably what I should have touched on maybe at the start of this video, or maybe last night, but my morning routine technically starts the night before, because I'll always plan, and I really, like, this has been the biggest thing that I encourage anyone to do. I really encourage you to plan out your day the night before, so that when the day comes and the day starts and you do your morning routine, you do your run, you do your meditation, your cold water exposure, your breath work. Whenever you've done all that, do you know exactly what you need to do next? Like, do you know the work you need to do? So for me, it's like, I don't want to sit down and be like, all right, well, what do I need to work on now? It's like, I already know exactly how my day is going to look the night before, because I take the time to plan it out, so that then I can be most efficient and effective with my time. And one thing I can show you very quickly here, I mean, I've cleaned some of it out because I can't share everything, but I have kind of these weekly trackers, right? And this is basically just like an overview of like my biggest tasks I need to do for the week, and I won't go into all of them because some of them won't make sense to you. And then obviously it's a bit different this week because I'm with the team, and most of what we're doing is filming content, so it's diluted. But here, obviously, we're on Thursday today. It's like I always put what exercise I'm going to do for the day here, so it's run. I've done my run for the day. As you can see, Tuesday I did intervals. Obviously done the team meeting. I got 4 minutes until I got this one-on-one meeting. And then, yeah, it's just content. And it's not like I won't, other than meetings, I'll never time block in terms of like, from 12 till 12:30 I'm doing this. It's like, okay, well, what's the biggest thing I need to work on today? What do I actually need to do? Whether that's, obviously, as I said, this week it's different because it's mostly content, but is it, systems? Is it software development? Is it kind of idolizing new hires, new business ideas? Is it managing money, accounting? And like, as you grow, these things that you think don't take time actually do take a lot of time. But always having this plan the day before just makes things so much easier, because you then know, and it's like, you then know how productive a day you've had. If you know what you're going to do the night before, and if I can go to bed this evening knowing I've ticked off all these tasks, sweet, I'm happy. I know I've done everything I said I was going to do today. So I can go to bed happy, no matter what the outcome is of the day business-wise. I've done my best. I've given it my all. So yeah, if you're not doing this, I really encourage you to do it, because yeah, it's one of the biggest things that I find makes me most productive. So I try to get to my desk, or in this case, the kitchen table with all the boys at around 9 a.m. So I can kind of, I've done my exercise, I've eaten, I can then just lock in, and the only thing I really have to worry about is lunch until whenever I finish my work day. Now, for me, I personally don't like taking meetings in the morning. I'd rather use my morning time to lock in and focus on things that, actually, I guess, move the business more so without distractions. But obviously, when your business gets to a certain size, like, you kind of want to take the morning meetings because it starts the team off in the right way. It gets everyone together and it gets them functioning in the best way possible. So we typically run our team meetings around 9, 10 a.m. UK time, which doesn't suit me perfectly, but if I were you and you didn't have a team, I would push all your meetings to the afternoon because it's kind of the easier work, right? Like, you're just sitting replying to things as opposed to actually doing the thing that needs like full focus. But obviously when I'm in Dubai, it kind of suits me better because those team meetings, because of the time zone, aren't until about 12. So I can typically get on with my deep work first and then attack any, meetings with the team, meetings with external people in the afternoons. But this is typically how I structure my days. If I do have the opportunity, I will do deep work in the morning, calls in the afternoon. Obviously, when I'm in the UK, I don't have that option, so it's team calls in the morning and then deep work in the afternoon. But 9 a.m. now, so I'm gonna get to work. Yeah, so that's a wrap on my morning routine. I'm just stood outside here getting 5 minutes worth of sun. But yeah, last thing I want to really mention is, look, like, that's what I do in my mornings. It's pretty straightforward. Get up, wake myself up with caffeine, align myself for the day, exercise, and then get to work. I don't think you need to try and emulate or follow anyone else's specific morning routine. I think it's all about finding something that works for you and makes you most efficient. And if that's rolling out of bed and getting straight on your laptop, fine. I mean, admittedly, I sometimes do that if it needs to be done, but I know that what I've just shown you, is most effective for me. It makes me most productive. I strongly encourage you to do the same and find what works for you. And don't fall into the trap of doing these crazy routines you're seeing people mention, because they might work for some people, but they don't work for me, and they might not work for you.